be honest, make sure integrity is high, and that you expect them to be what you are. You know, and so it was good. I mean, really good employees. Thank you.
As a patrol commander, I commanded 70 individuals over the patrol division. As a sergeant running our training division, I also was responsible for our reserve deputies, which at that time was about 75 as well. Thank you.
I would say my hardest has been 2, and that's raising my 14-year-old and my 11-year-old. But as a detention officer, I oversaw the day crew, and Mr. Pennington ripped himself off whenever he didn't add the inmates, because we did have to oversee them. But as far as narcotics, I oversaw the narcotics division, which there's only 2. So I'm shy on this one. Thank you.
When I was a lieutenant over patrol, I was over something I'm putting out. I was supervisor over 8 to 9 on patrol. Now I'm supervisor over CID. There's 8 over there. But I'm also supervisor of 15 alpha males on the SWAT team. And if you think that's easy, try to make those 15 get along.
Marshal service 24 years. We all went around the world traveling, doing different missions that the U.S. Attorney gave us to do. We went into Ruby Ridge, Waco, went into all the high incidents, and we also went to the riots in L.A. and Louisiana. During all these riots and everything, we'd have anywhere a team of 5 to 150 people. It just depended on the assignment, where we went and what we did around the country from time to time. We'd all meet up. We'd have to meet within 6 hours. We'd have to meet somewhere around the world or the country and carry out that mission. I was a team leader or supervisor. Thank you.
The largest amount of people I've ever supervised, probably 100 people, and that was being a corrections deputy at the Place County Jail. In my small business, we supervised 6 to 8 people. Patrol sergeant, I supervised, immediate supervised 4 deputies, and we also take care of the jail at night. As a patrol lieutenant, I supervised 20 to 30 deputies at a time.
I directly supervise civil process, vicious animal, environmental, and evidence. Not counting. I guess as being an administrative lieutenant, I supervise just about every one of them for everything I do. I do the uniforms, I do the vehicles, I do the weapons. Everything that they got, I supervise them in some way. So I guess you could say about 100. Thank you.
All right, this is going to be our final normal question. We have one final question, and we'll give 2 minutes to each individual. This is your final 60-second answer. And we'll start with Mr. Pennington. If elected, what would you be willing to do to make the smaller communities in the county a priority and just as important as the largest ones in the county?
What I would do would be first and foremost, go visit with these smaller communities find out what their real issues are, and address those issues. You know, unfortunately for the sheriff's department today, there are only 5 patrol deputies on the street in a town. And they are answering calls their entire shift. There's not much downtime for a patrol deputy in Saline County. So what I would do, again, would go to these communities myself, hold town hall meetings, hold things like this. You know, this is great for the community. It lets you know what we as candidates are going to do, but it also gets y'all involved in coming out, and that's what we need, you know. And so just by holding these type functions and being readily available to the smaller communities, because we want them to have the same type of quality patrol or CID investigations as a larger one. Thank you.
If you're elected, what would you be willing to do to make the smaller communities in the county a priority and just as important as the larger ones in the county?
If the smaller communities are considered not as important as the larger communities, then the sheriff's office is wrong. The smaller communities are just as important as the rest of them. I would manage our patrol division in a positive, effective way, restructure our shifts slightly to have more people at the right times. I would lead the patrol deputies and tell them how to get back into the communities and do that community-oriented policing that they need to do. Just driving by with windows tinted at 65 miles an hour through a community is not going through and checking it. You got to get out and talk to folks. You got to say hello. You got to go to the gas stations. You got to do those things that you need to do. And that's called being a professional law enforcement officer, not somebody that's coming in for a 12-hour shift and going home. I'm passionate about my small communities. Thank you.
First, I would ask the community what they needed done. We don't know unless we hear the problems. So with, there again, the community-oriented policing, we would be in the area to find out exactly what needs to be done. This is the community's office. We're just here to supervise it. So it's mainly up to, you know, what do the citizens of Saline County need? And that's what we'll focus on, and that's what we'll do for the communities. Thank you.
First, we need to do a better job talking with our neighborhood watch program. We need to know what the problems are in each community, and then we need to communicate that amongst them, back to our deputies. We need to improve our customer service. That's huge. Doesn't matter if you're a small community or a large one. The same customer service goes to you and does anyone else. And again, improving our communication with either neighborhood watch programs or town hall meetings is the best way to find out what's the problems in your community and how to best address them.
Okay, you're all here tonight, you're looking for answers there, what a sheriff's gonna do for you. What this sheriff's gonna do for you is bring you some law enforcement here to this community in the East End. What we're gonna do is train and get people out here, you, the people in this community, a couple of reserve deputies or 4 deputies. We'll bring an extra sheriff deputy out here. We're gonna bring you a car that's visible, that you can see out here, and it will be responding not in 45 minutes. We're gonna get you some help here, and if that don't work, you call me, I'll be out here as well. So you take that to the bank. Thank you.
The smaller communities in Saline County are already a priority to me. My shift, I can't speak for the other shifts, but I know my shift stays out of the county the majority of the time. And that's not to say we won't answer a call in Benton or Bryant or Saline County has many small police, but we have 705 deputies. So we will stay a top law enforcement agency in the county, important priority for the people out in the county. Thank you.
First of all, I would continue doing what I've already been doing. I've assisted Bauxite, I've assisted Alexander, I've assisted Haskell. I helped Haskell have their first 800 radio put into the car so that they could help monitor our channels, so that we could assist them if they needed us. I've helped Bauxite with other equipment that they have needed. We've helped Alexander with equipment that they have needed. All they got to do is ask. If we got it, we'll help them. Our guys, we answer a lot of calls for them, and we'll continue to do that. They have just as much priority as anybody else. They are still part of Saline County, and we'll be there. Thank you.
Yeah, everybody's very important to me, so I would definitely make sure you stay safe. But there's one thing that I would do that nobody mentioned, is we have 2 schools out here. We have school at Alexander, Bauxite. I would have an officer just walk through, talk to the principal, and make presence at these schools before something happens. If people's doing drugs, this stuff makes you mean. I mean, people say it's mental illness or whatever. People is mean out there. So I'm telling you, we have to protect these kids. I'm saying it over and over. But that's what I would do. And I love kids. I'm in the Kiwanis, I'm in the Lions Club, and by the way, Sil, I got another minute left. We got a Cowboy Up coming up, so don't y'all forget, it's a lot of fun. So we need everybody to come out to the Cowboy Up for the Lions Club. Thank you.
All right, this will be our final question for each of the candidates. They'll have 2 minutes to answer this question and to add whatever remarks with the question they'd like to make. We'll start with Mr. Haynes on this. Here's a question. Have you ever been the subject of an investigation? Have you ever received reprimands or suspensions as a result of that investigation? And what were the circumstances surrounding it?
No, I've never been suspended. Yes, I got reprimanded. I had a